Humor can heal a whole lot of things. And once you're into laughing with them, if you think about it, laughter creates an energy of connectedness, that I, thou, and our common humanity. So we have to laugh with our kids and laugh at some of our own foibles. You know, there's no one way to get through this, and nobody ever said it's going to be easy, and nobody has a set blueprint for that. And it's a matter of saying, we're all unique here, and we're going to get through this. Kids mess up. Most importantly, they need to know that we have a deep, deep caring for them. Deep caring is not the same as liking them. I often say in my when I'm lecturing, do any of you have a teenager? And people raise their hand. And I say, I bet some of you don't like your teenager right now. And they're kind of, and say, oh no, you're saying, I don't like their behavior. No, you don't like them. You don't want to go home tonight. And they laugh. But you love them deeply. And if they would get in trouble, if they would make some really awful choices, they need to know you're going to be there for them, that you will get down there and put your arm around them and say, we love you, you're in trouble, we know you can handle it. First of all, get yourself as informed as you can about brain development. There's much more out there than my generation ever even spoke about. We didn't have the language for it. Get tuned in to the fact that our young boys and our young girls' brains are still developing, and some of their decisions. That's why we have to look in the courts, with the courts recognizing that juveniles don't have that same regulatory controls that you have when you're 25 and 30 years old. And so I also, now getting myself educated, then have to talk to my kids about, you know what, let's talk about how your brain's developing. Use humor with it, and then say, you know, some of your judgment's going to be a little bit off, but tell you what, mine's already fully developed and maybe on the decline. Let's check some things out with me if you're not so sure. Let them know that you can be that sounding board. Let them know that you can, that you are open and not judgmental, and that they can check back in with you, and you can offer that, and you know, say, you know what, sometimes my advice may be a little crotchety, but other times it may be spot on. So ask me, and then you can take it from there. One of the first things I recommend for kids who have been hurt by others or hurting themselves is get them out to do good for others. James Natchway, one of the wonderful Canadians, said, do good because good is good to do. And one of the best things you can do is say, you know what, kid, we're going to work at Habitat for Humanity. We're going to go work in a soup kitchen. It gets them out of themselves. And we actually get a lot when we give. And so if your kid's really struggling, one of the first things I say as a counselor is get out there and do good for somebody else. Let's go help out washing dogs at the vets. Let's go help in a soup kitchen. Because when they extend themselves, what do? They get a stronger sense of self. But a strong sense of self is what Martin Buber said, I am I, and you are thou, and we have a common humanity. I'm unique, and you're unique. And we are interconnected, interdependent, and interrelated. So no matter what our ages are, that kid right there is the thou in our lives. And we have to treat them as the thou and say, you know what, you're unique and I'm unique, and we are connected, and we're going to make it through this. Well, 3 kinds of families handle that very differently. The brick wall says the kid has a problem. I don't know what I'm going to do with this kid. He's totally out of control. Jellyfish says, what problem? There's no problem here. You know, I dabbled a bit myself when I was young, and it didn't hurt me, and, you know, a little bit's not going to be, and, hey, got drunk once. That's jellyfish. Backbone says, we have a problem. It's a we. We're a family. We're connected. We have a problem, and we need to get help. And a cry for help is a good thing. I want families to know it's a healthy thing to get help if you need it. Don't wait till it reaches crisis. If you're at crisis, definitely get it. But don't wait. There's a time you might check in and get a tune-up, you know, and say, you know, we struggled a bit, we got through that, but I think it's time, kid, to go back. If your kid's reluctant to go to a counselor with you, say, I need it. I'm at a loss at what to do right now. I've never done this before. This is new to me. And would you be willing to go to the counselor and tell them how I'm messing up? Because you have eyes that I don't have. And the counselors who are good will get the kid in there, and you may learn a few things that you need to do. Maybe it's backing off a little bit. Maybe it's not being so rigid. Or maybe it's being tuned in more to them. There's that, I've seen commercials where kids will say, my mom's in denial. She just doesn't know what's happening there. And our kids shouldn't be smarter than us about very serious issues. And so we need to be aware, what's their body looking like and stuff. But if you're in trouble, get help. It's a healthy thing to do.